life coach Aisha Israel, and
we are the hosts of Candid Conversations.
Hi, I'm Saucy Sunny.
Dawn B.
Aisha Israel.
Welcome to Candid Conversations.
Girl talk.
Girl talk.
Girl talk.
All girl talk.
Ready for Candid Conversations.
We are ready to get started.
Are you?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Candid Conversations. It is your host, the laid back, down to earth life coach, Aisha Israel, and we are getting ready to start some girl talk. So I am really excited because tonight we are kicking off Women's History Month with a history-making woman. We're going to hear about that. We're going to let her tell her own story. We've got Imani bringing the tea. And then, of course, we're going to get into our regularly scheduled program with Girl Talk. But I just had something to say. So if you guys have been watching since the inception of Candid Conversations with Aisha Israel, then you know that this started during the quarantine when we were stuck in the house with our spouses. And I'm typically not a person who watches a lot of television. However, like a lot of you guys, I was forced to watch more TV than I was used to. I think at one point I had watched probably everything that Netflix had to offer. So with that being said, I started watching a show called Married at First Sight. Now, unbeknownst to me, it was the 9th season by the time I had ever seen this show for the first time. So I got into it. I won't say I got addicted because I clearly missed seasons 10 and 11, and I just caught up right now with season 12. And I just have a major issue with one of the couples, Chris and Paige. I was watching it. I finished episode 7, and just watching everything unveil and, unfold, it was really hard to watch and really triggering for me because it reminded me so much of my first marriage, where I was married to, a lot of you guys know, a sex addict. And so I experienced narcissism firsthand. And I really, if I could talk to Paige directly, I would tell her to run, and don't look back. And then, ironically, when I was on my way home today in the car, Ashanti's song Foolish was playing. So there's a whole lot underlying here. I don't know how he got past the producers of the show. I guess he lied. And that's one thing about a narcissist. They are very skilled at lying and portraying themselves to be very genuine. But anyway, maybe we'll get into that a little later. So having said all of that, tonight we have a very special guest. She is, like I said, a history-making woman. I'm going to talk to her directly, ask her some questions. And of course, as you know, if you have questions or comments, put them in the comment section. And we are about to get started. I'm going to kick it off by playing her video. She is a person to get to know. So hold on tight, and we're going to find out what she's all about. Let's go. I hope you can hear it, because you guys know I'm not the best with sharing my screen. Share audio. Okay, here we go.
She's unapologetic. She's a superhero on a motorcycle. That's your throne, and your helmet is your crown. You're allowed to be a queen on the road. That's what a black girl who rides is.
I have never seen a black woman in a motorcycle ad. The first time I ever felt seen as a black female motorcyclist is when I saw Porsche Taylor, Black Girl Ride magazine.
Black Girls Ride is the first motorcycle magazine for women of color. We were created in 2011 to be the change we wanted to see. It started as a magazine, but it developed into a movement because women who saw themselves in the pages developed an emotional connection. Because of that, we created social events that would bring them together. Black Girls Ride is here at Essence. 225 riders will ride a combined total of 200,000 miles to get to New Orleans for Essence Fest. This is our girls' trip. This is where your hair texture is celebrated. Your style, your fashion is celebrated. Your skin tones are celebrated. Things that bring us together and celebrate the essence of who we are.
Some sisters having a good time who are in their passion, in their zone, who are just doing what they want to do, motorcycling.
When I was coming up, motorcycles were for boys. Girls played with dolls. Motorcycle riding has helped my self-esteem by reinforcing the fact that impossible is nothing. Black Girls Ride shifts the perception of what a motorcycle rider looks like by simply showing us in action. You pull up to a light and there's a little girl and she's on the corner and she's pointing and she's going, look, that's me right there. That makes you feel like a superhero. There is this generation of women who now know that they can do anything.
All right. Without further ado, let's give it up for Miss Porsche Taylor. Good evening. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm
You're
great.
fabulous.
Thank you. So do you. I'm so excited to have you on the show.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I mean, what's it like being the creator of the first motorcycle magazine for women of color? That's exciting.
You know what? Every year it hits a little different, because you can start to see how the culture has shifted. You can start to see how you've impacted advertising and marketing in the industry. I remember how challenging it was to get the focus and attention when we first started. And some of the responses we would get when we were asked, when I would submit proposals or ask for requests for stuff, and it's totally different now. And just seeing even if you look on social media, you can see how the pages of mainstream media is now more inclusive, and I'm happy to have been instrumental in that.
Okay. So now tell me, when did you start liking motorcycles?
You know what? I've always wanted to ride, but my family isn't that family. You know what I mean? For my mom and my stepdad, it was seen as it was a dangerous thing. And I had a cousin back in the day that really did some damage to himself because he wasn't wearing the proper safety gear and stuff. Okay. And so, although, I loved the look of it. And then so in 2003, what happened was I had another cousin who bought a bike. And so he was like, hey, I just bought this motorcycle. Why don't you come and take a ride with me? And he put me on the back of the bike. And I loved the feeling of riding, but I hated the loss of control by being a passenger. So I knew that I would ride. This is something I would do, but I definitely don't want somebody else's being in control of my life, because he was making decisions I wouldn't make. You know what I mean? Okay. So then a movie came out called Biker Boys. The cheesiest movie you ever. I mean, this movie was cheesy, right? Okay. But the thing about the movie was that there were women in the movie riding their own bikes. They weren't passengers. They weren't props. They were actually actively riders. Okay. And I could see myself in them. And so that was the inspiration. So at the time, I was a marketing manager at Adidas, and I had gotten a bonus check that year, about $4,000, right? So, nice. and all my, no thought to invest it, none of that. So it was like, I was going to either buy a big screen TV or I was going to buy a motorcycle. Okay. And guess what you bought? I bought the motorcycle, and here we sit, So that's really, that was the inspiration. I love the ride. And I just love the way it takes you out of whatever worries you have. It's a win therapy kind of a thing for me.
Okay. So like a peace and a freedom.
Yeah. Especially long distance riding. That's kind of where I go and have these long talks with God, because motorcycling is the one situation where you can afford to be selfish. You know, in our everyday lives, we're taking care of our kids, our elderly, our spouses, you know, our job. We have all these different responsibilities. But when you get on a bike, your only responsibility is to yourself and to the machine to make sure that you arrive safely wherever you are. So in those moments, you might, especially on a long distance ride, you would enter a meditative state and you actually start to look at your life, and you have talks about, you know, I have talks with God about what my goals are, what my vision is. And, you know, I'm able to fine tune and refine my focus in that way. It takes a lot of the anxiety out of a day. So,
so like a lot like if I were to read a book or write a book, or somebody just sits back and watches a movie, that's your getaway or your me time.
Well, it's a little different because see, when you are reading a book or even writing or watching a movie, you are dealing with someone else's content and someone else's vision.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? When you're on a motorcycle, like, you really are focused on you, fine-tuned on you, your inner voice, your inner thoughts.
Okay.
You see?
I see what you mean. Yeah. So now, how did your love for motorcycle riding turn into a magazine? How did you come about, you know, being a magazine creator?
Yeah. Well, so I always loved writing, right? I have a history degree from UCLA, and so I love storytelling. And I feel like every job that I've had was in preparation for Black Girls Ride. But what happened was in 2011, on New Year's Day, I read a book called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And my main takeaway from that book was, you could be great at a lot of things, but if you're not pursuing your passion, you're wasting your time.
I like that. Right.
So I sat still after I read that book, and I read it after watching a Will Smith video. He talked a little bit about it. Right. It was like a Will Smith YouTube.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just one of those things on a New Year's Day, you're trying to renew and get inspiration, that kind of thing. And so I read the book. I went and got the book, read the book from cover to cover in the same day. And I sat still for a minute, and I was like, you know, what do I really, really love? And I knew I love motorcycles. I knew by that time, you know, I had been riding, was that 7 years by that time?
Okay.
Maybe not. No, 2011, 2003 to 2011. Do the math. I don't know, but
okay,
give or take. I'm gonna say, you know,
about 7.
So I was invested in riding, in the sport of riding. I was invested in my community, by the Black biker community in Los Angeles, particularly. And I just knew that this was something that I wanted to do, to figure out how to turn my passion into profit. And so I thought about the stories of women. I did a search for Black female motorcyclists, and I could find barely anything.
Really? You know, like a Google search, you mean?
Yeah, like a Google search. And back then, the only thing that would show up was Bessie Stringfield, right? Who is definitely a pioneer. She rode in the 30s and 40s. And had been recognized, you know, so she had a fair amount of press on her, but there was no one else that you could say by name. And so I was Googling magazines, because originally the thought was I could go work for a motorcycle magazine. That was the thought. That was the original thought.
That would be like your dream job.
Right. And then, but when I didn't see anything that appealed to me, all of the magazines looked like they were developed by middle-aged, basically the template for what was then the motorcycle industry, middle-aged white men. Right.
Right.
And that didn't fit for me. So in my head, I was like, you know what? Because I knew there were women who rode, especially in my community. So I said, you know, what if we did Essence meets like Super Sport Bike or something like that? Right. That was the initial.
Yeah.
And it would talk, and I'm writing down my ideas. This is what I want to focus on. I want rider education, and I want to do product reviews that pertain to women. And I want to focus on, you know, plus size gear, because we're a little more curvy than everybody else. And, you know, and I want to review different types of bikes, and, you know, just all these ideas came flooding. The floodgates just came. And that very night I did the website. I had the outline for the first issue ready. I had, it just was coming, you know, it was just like a faucet that I couldn't turn off.
Got it.
And that's where Black Girls Ride was born.
Okay. I just think it's so amazing. And I think just even to be able to say your name and say the first of something, I mean, nobody can take that away from you. I mean, that's just awesome. And then for you to be our first guest during Women's History Month. Yeah, I mean, I went to an all girls high school. So I was introduced to Women's History Month in probably the 7th grade. And I think that was empowering. It was good to meet like people like Betty Friedan, Shirley Chisholm, like people up close, you know what I mean, who were just powerful women, and to hear how they think and what they say and how they move about and how they you know, get past intimidation or people's attempts at intimidation. I just love it. And so I'm very excited for you. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And
thank you so much.
If I had the courage to get on a motorcycle, you know, I have short legs. So
girl, you can do it. You can do it. There are bikes to fit every size. You can definitely do it.
And I'm sure you would be the person to ask.
Absolutely.
But we're gonna what I would like to do, well, you can, if you have any words of encouragement for any budding entrepreneurs, young women who are looking to get into their passion, as you say, do you have anything to say to them before we move on to the next segment? Because I want you to, you know, make your statement. And
you know what I will say is, don't let anybody make their vision your vision.
Okay.
Right. That conversation is a private talk between you and God. So, you know, there are going to be people that don't see your future the way you see your future. And don't ever let them hinder you. Right. The reason that Black Girls Ride is still continuing today is because I didn't know that I couldn't do it. I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to be able to do a motorcycle magazine. I didn't ask anyone for permission. You know, we're in this, especially the entrepreneurs of today, we have a unique advantage with the internet, you know. All of this is happening with pure technology, you know what I mean? And you grow from it. You know, you're gonna fail a lot of times, but the recipe for success is in your failure. And I would say the younger you start, the better. Because when we get older is where the fear sets in. That's where the bills that we have to pay in, you know, and you start to worry about whether or not you're going to have enough money. I wish that I would have started Black Girls Ride in my dorm room in college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where somebody else was paying the rent, somebody else was paying the overhead, and I could take everything that I had and throw it just purely at the vision. You know what I'm saying? That's how Facebook got started. That's how Apple started.
In college, Well, they had all that time to think and plan.
You got all that time and all that money and all those resources at your fingertips, especially if you're in a college setting, a university setting. There are just so many resources for you. So I would say, you know, take advantage of those.
Take advantage of those resources, while you can.
Absolutely. And then, you know, find someone whose vision looks like yours. You know, so I looked a lot at Cynthia Horner, who was the founder of Right On magazine. And she's one of our stars.
Yeah.
And so I looked at her blueprint, and, you know, obviously it looks a little different because she did it pre-technology.
Pre-internet,
But the it's just the same. You know, you line up your topics, you line up your subjects, and you make it happen. And so that's the thing. You don't have to. So a lot of people you can give the blueprint to anybody, but the execution and the follow through is going to be the thing that separates you from the pack.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, a lot of people are worried about, oh, well, you know, I want to start a t-shirt business, but there's already 3,000 t-shirt businesses. Are they going to do it like you do it? You know what I mean? As long as you have your own vision, you can do anything out here. We're all born with the same DNA structure, the same two hands. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Blood that runs.
Exactly. It's a matter of you committing to the decision and then working it all the way through to success.
Okay. I like it. All right, it's time for us to move into our next segment, but I would like to invite you to stay and have girl talk with us while we talk relationships and other interesting topics.
Let's see.
All right. Let's go. Hey, Imani, how are you? I want to let everybody know who you are, our new addition to our panel of, what are we? Panel of women experts on relationships. So Imani is the youngest of the crew. Imani, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
All
Hi.
right. Hey, so what do you want to tell us today?
Okay, so today I'm bringing a tea from social media from the Shade Room. And today in the Shade Room, a lot of things have been floating around about former R&B singer Neo. If people don't know who he is, he has one of the hits, Miss Independent. Now, the tea about Neo is that he had his ex-wife, Monyetta Shaw, who he has 2 children with, get her tubes tied. And he recently just announced that he is expecting another child with Crystal Smith. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but what's floating around the Shade Room is that he requested from Monyetta Shaw to get her tubes tied, which is like a big slap in the face if now, a few years down the road, you're saying that you're having a baby with Crystal Smith, who is now his ex-wife. Who is now his present wife. Well, my thing is that why do women always change their bodies for men instead of men going to go get a vasectomy? And I want people to comment below about that.
All right. I'm going to take Neo off the screen if that's okay with you.
Okay.
All right, cool. How are you ladies doing? All right, that was some interesting tea. You know, I don't keep up with all of that, so I appreciate you letting me in on the scoop. So the Shade Room, huh?
Yes, from Facebook. So it's floating around the Shade Room. I don't want to say it's true, but it's all over social media.
I'm gonna say it's not true. It's not true. I'm gonna just jump right in. It's not true.
Okay, and why? How do you know it's not true? Tell me.
Well, so Neo, I know Neo. First of all, I know him as a man and his character. He was actually on the cover of Black Girls Ride magazine
Nice.
a while back. But the one thing that I want to say is I know this story. So what happened was Neo and his wife at the time decided that after the last child that she had, that they were done having kids together as a couple, and they had agreed. You know, she had agreed to get her tubes tied, and he was going to follow with a vasectomy. According to her, he was going to follow with a vasectomy. So when she gave birth to the baby, the doctor said, "Hey, well, I'm already here. Would you like me to go ahead and follow through with the procedure?" And she looked. This is how he says it. He says, "She looked at me. I looked at her like this, and she did. She said, yes, go ahead and do it." Okay. So she made the decision. He didn't say, "Yes, you're gonna get your tubes tied, or we're not gonna be together no more." It wasn't like that, right? Okay. So fast forward to them having a breakup. Whatever happened in their relationship, it didn't work out. A year and a half later, he meets his new wife. This is a whole nother relationship, a whole nother moment in time. And of course, he clearly didn't have the vasectomy, but they end up having kids, right? Okay. So it's hard to say that he's at fault in that situation. It's hard to say. I have to say, you know, she could have said, "No, I need some more time to think about getting my tubes tied." She could have said, "No, I'm good on that. I want to have more kids. You know, we need to talk about this some more." He wasn't down there with the doctor like, "Hey, I need you to go ahead and do that while you're down there." That's not what happened. And that's the way he's being portrayed. And I don't think that's fair.
Okay. Well, hey y'all.
Hey Don.
What's the tea? Neo still be yo, don't be asking me to tie my tubes if you gonna bounce. That's it. Now give me all your kids.
I would have been that he should have to go get his vasectomy next day after she got them tubes tied.
Wait, what?
Now we none of us having kids. Not none of us having kids.
Yeah, together.
Same time.
So so Imani, are you saying that you don't think that women should offer to get their tubes tied, that it should be the man to speak up first?
Honestly, yeah, that's how I feel. It's a lot of, and not just speaking on Neo either. It's a lot of men out here, 4, 5, 6 baby mamas, but it's like it's the norm for us as women to get our tubes tied. And then they say, oh, if a man get a vasectomy, he gonna have these problems, he gonna have those problems. But women get fibroids after they get their tubes tied. They have all types of problems. We have all types of problems after we get our tubes tied. But we still go and get our tubes tied because somebody else don't want to have any more kids.
And guess what?
Problem.
Men can reverse theirs too. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. 2 kids. You go, bro, and you can reverse this because you can't reconnect this Dan Ryan. Right. You can't reconnect. It won't flow anymore. No, I ain't doing it.
But women can get their tubes untied, I thought.
Yeah, they can.
Well, I got mine's done.
I'm about to say
it's burnt, tied,
it's clear,
it's done.
And nobody coming back for that, huh?
After 4 kids, I said I was done. He asked me 3 times, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Heck yeah, I'm sure. You gonna come babysit? I'm done. So I think, and I thank God, I haven't had any issues that I know of yet. It's been 12 years.
Okay, well, that's good to know. That's good to know. I'm glad to hear that. All right. Well, Imani, did you have any other tea that you wanted to spill before we get started with Girl Talk? Because I'm going to explain the rules.
That's it.
Okay. Well, I have to tell everybody because, so Imani's on here because I see her almost daily, Monday through Friday. Well, nope, not Mondays. I see her daily, Tuesday through Friday. And when she walks in the door, she's coming in, girl, did you hear this? Girl, did you see that? Okay, so I really thought you had some more tea, but I'm sure there's time, right?
It's gonna be time. It's gonna be time.
Okay. All right. So for those of you who are new to Candid Conversations, I'm going to explain the rules. So we have something called Girl Talk. What that is that every lady that is here on the panel has an opportunity to choose a question, a scenario, or a meme. And that young lady who chooses first has the first opportunity to respond or answer before any of us chime in. And once they're done with their response, then the rest of us will chime in and get the discussion started. So, Imani, you just so happen to be right next to me on my screen. So I'm going to go with you first. What would you like to choose?
Where do I choose from?
Well, you just tell me what you want and I'll pull it up.
It's a surprise.
Choose
a scenario, a question, or a meme. And you know what? Honestly, I'm trying to remember. Did we get any new scenarios?
We can do a meme.
A meme?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what I have in the realm of memes. All right. Let me close this out. Let me share my screen. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about sound. All right. Please let me know if you cannot see it. Can you see it?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So apparently someone said, when's the last time you took yourself out on a date? Date yourself and do it often. And I know I've said that as a life coach and relationship coach, but she says, I don't date broke people. Can you relate?
No, I cannot relate because I do nice things for myself all the time. Whether it's buying myself a new wig, going to the nail shop, or going to go get me something nice to eat, or buying my favorite bottle of wine. I always believe in self-care first. And then with the you don't date broke people thing, I always believe, like, how can I want something from somebody else if I can't give it? You know what I mean? Like, how can I want this and that if I can't even offer the same things that I want? So I definitely can't relate with any of that. That's for the birds. That's not my category.
Don, you're muted if you're trying to talk.
My bad. Well, this is insert sarcasm because homegirl was just replying like, "Oh, I can't date myself. I don't date broke people."
Right. Which I thought was funny.
That's hilarious.
Like, no, I can't date myself. I can't date broke people. And that just means she can't go anywhere.
Exactly. You have no room to do anything.
Poor girl. All right. Anybody else want to chime in before I move on to?
I think that's great.
Yep.
Know thyself. Know thy positions.
All right. Porsche, you're next. Would you like a scenario, a question, or a meme?
I'm gonna take a scenario.
A scenario. I always say the people who take scenarios are brave. All right, let me share my screen. One of these days, I'm going to have a producer and an engineer.
That's right. Put it in the universe, girl.
Yes. All right. Can you see it?
Yes. I need some advice. I recently found out that during my entire 3.5-year relationship, my boyfriend was liking and leaving comments, some dirty, on other women's Facebook pages. These are fan pages and private groups of naked women for the most part. Just a few hours ago, found a comment on a picture saying he's single. This was left at least 7 days after we started dating. Many of the women he likes are large-breasted, and he spends the majority of his time on Facebook looking at them. It's safe to say he likes over 300 pages. Last time I addressed the situation, he just blocked me on Facebook. He almost never compliments me or shows affection, but claims he loves me. I don't know if I'm overthinking because I have so far found no evidence of him cheating and physically talking to other women, but I'm so heartbroken and I don't know what to do. Girl, run. If you have to even think that there's some shadiness going on, your intuition is never a liar. And we don't have time in 2021 to deal with men doing childish things. So I would say if he can't love you the right way on social media, he's definitely not going to be able to love you the right way in real life.
All right. That was profound. I like that. Yeah, I always say trust is one of the most important things in a relationship. And once that's broken down or you don't have that, you don't really have a lot worth saving if you're not willing to go and fix it. So yeah, I'm with you, Portia.
And 3.5 years, she got off easy.
He said she got off easy.
She's invested. It's 3.5 years, girl. You got your whole entire life left. You good?
Oh, okay. I got what you're saying. I agree with that. Yeah. All right. Anybody else?
I feel like she wasted 3.5 years. She said she can't get back.
That's an interesting perspective. Okay, so Portia's like she got off easy. You like she wasted 3.5 years.
Yes, like I don't play games. Okay, first red flag, you gotta go. No,
that's fair.
Ain't no room for mess ups. None of that. Even though I'm young, it's time is something you don't get back. I don't want to waste no time. And if you do something that remind me of somebody else, I really don't want you no more.
So. Oh Lord, have mercy, child. That's called PTSD. Now listen. This chick, the one who left the scenario, like I'm with you. Okay, I see. Like I said before, I take social media for what it is. Social media, entertainment purposes only. She said she found a lot of these comments at least 7 days after they started dating.
Right.
Look, bitch, you not my woman now. Hold up.
Right. I barely even know if I really like you. 7 days.
Why you so petty? You checking my likes, sis. Go head on with your business.
Well, social media creates a lot of problems, I feel like, nowadays with relationships. And I'm young, but social media is always just out there. It's people all up in your business,
misreading stuff.
But
my husband blocked me based on stuff I was posting, and mine was entertainment purposes only. But he couldn't handle it. He trusted me, but he couldn't handle it. So he's like, okay. I'm gonna take you off my friend list, so I won't have to see your ridiculousness, and just let me stalk you when I feel like it. So now,
I feel like it's for entertainment purposes, but in this situation, he shouldn't be liking all them females' pictures. You don't need to be entertained.
No.
You're right there. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So,
content matters, though, for sure.
You want to see something? Tell her to show you something. You don't need to look at that stuff on Facebook.
Right.
That's right.
I don't know. I'm getting.
I agree. I'm gonna have to ask my husband if he ever blocked me. I don't know if he. I wouldn't know.
I don't know if I got blocked, but I got unfriended.
You said
I don't know that I like that. That's the response is to block instead of to
That's more sneaky. If you're gonna block me, you're going sneaky. You really don't want me to see.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, why is there not even an attempt to address what I'm feeling and to adjust your behavior accordingly?
Yeah,
that seems childish.
I wasn't blocked, but I definitely was unfriended. He
was like completely, Don, don't even, just, I'll see you at home. That's it.
Yeah, I don't need to see what's on your timeline. But
you guys I mean, you were married, so that's kind of different. You could see him, he could see you, he knows your behaviors, he knows what you're doing. That's kind of different than somebody who's dating and trying to get to know somebody. I'm with Porsche. Like, he didn't make any effort to try and establish some type of responsibility, or even to say it was a mistake, or he didn't even try. He's like, oh, block her.
Right. On to the next.
Right. I say run. Okay. All right, cool. Well, Don, you are up. Nope. Sunsay's up. I did that last time. Sunsay, you're up next.
Okay.
What would you like? Question?
We haven't had a question.
All right. Let's see. I think we did that one. All right, here we go. Question for Sunsay. Oh man, what was that?
That was loud.
Okay. We haven't done this question before, right? Can you see it, Sunny?
I see it.
Can you read it?
I think we did this one.
Okay,
we did this one.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one.
Okay.
Oh, well, look at that. All right.
Okay.
Oh, boo.
Okay. Who's more wrong? The wife for going through her husband's phone and finding evidence of infidelity, or the husband for cheating? The husband for cheating, because the wife should be able to go through his stuff. My husband has his nightstand with his stuff in it, and he literally told me, I gave him some money for Valentine's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes in the drawer. He's like, "Where's my money at?" Because I switched it. I said, "You can choose with the new hand," because I upped his money because he didn't like the first thing I gave him. So I said, "Here you go." So he looked in the drawer. He's like, "Where's my money?" I said, "I put it in your envelope. What you doing through my stuff?" I said, I can go through anything you got. It don't matter.
That's our stuff.
So yeah, that's ours. That's mine. That's ours. That's how this works. So he's wrong. She's right. There shouldn't be anything to be hidden. If my husband wants my stuff, here you go. Here's my phone. Here's whatever. It should go both ways. That's it. And then you pack his stuff in his suitcase and put it outside your house.
Okay? There it is.
That's how that goes.
That was next. Good. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I my husband and I talked about this at length before we got married, just because of what I had been through in my first marriage. I mean, I literally was traumatized and emotionally drained. So we had to have a good understanding that transparency was an absolute requirement. Like, we have to be transparent. So as crazy as he is, and some of the crazy, I want him to be himself. I'm not trying to change him. So yes, we are like night and day, people who know us both, but I love who he is, and I let him be who he is. Now, that's not to say that we don't have arguments, and I don't say, that probably wasn't a good idea, but transparency and honesty, that's important. And again, I think that affects trust. And so once the trust is gone, man, it makes it not a relationship to me. So yeah, I agree with you. But the person who wrote this apparently thinks that both actions are wrong. And I don't know if the husband or the wife wrote it. I can't tell.
I think that the operative word is wife and husband. So that means you become one in that instance. So there's obviously a basic expectation of privacy, but if I go through your phone, it shouldn't be a big deal because there should be nothing going on in here anyway.
That's right.
So if you want to get an attitude that I went through your phone, that's cool. We'll deal with it. But the cheating that I'm going to find is going to devastate us. So that's worse.
Got it. Agreed. Imani,
Agreed.
Dawn, nothing. No.
I'm a strong believer in what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. And even when I can honestly say when I first got in the relationship I am now, we're engaged. But when we first got together, we took our past calls off our phone because now we're together. You know, I should be able to pick up your phone like it's mine. You should be able to pick up mine like it's yours. You know, and now both phones are my name. So if you know, I could. That's my phone. I could pick it up. You know, you could pick my phone up. It's nothing. It should be nothing in there that you don't want me to see. It should be stuff in there that you don't want other people to see. But it should be nothing in there that you don't want me to see. You know,
Right.
Just don't pick up my damn phone. That's where I'm at.
You talking about your husband too?
Don said mine is mine.
Wait, what'd you say, Don?
Don't do it.
Oh no, kids don't pick up my phone.
Just leave my shit alone. That's it. Like, if you don't have your phone, why do you need to have my phone? Yours is right there. We got them at the same time. It works. We're the same plan, same package, same data, same internet.
That's not the question, Dawn.
It says who's more wrong.
So
the
who's
wife
more
for going
wrong?
through the phone or the dude for infidelity? Evidence of infidelity.
But she wasn't trying to make a phone call on his phone. She was looking for stuff.
Well, what was she doing? Going through his phone.
That's it. Going through his
Why
phone.
would
It
you do
didn't
that?
say I want to use your phone.
She went through. She said
She had a red flag.
So which one is more wrong? Don?
Yeah, so who's more wrong?
I'm not gonna say. See, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna be like more wrong. That's that. I think that this is clearly a question a man wrote because automatically he's saying both of them wrong.
Mm.
A woman wrote that shit like, my man is wrong for me.
This is a chicken or the
Do you,
egg.
right? Do you agree with me?
Scenario.
I don't. That's why I didn't want to say anything at first, but then we just kept going about. I'm gonna go through his stuff, and he can go through mine. Why? And I
Well,
say,
I would say this. Most likely, okay. So when things are good, when there's no problems, most likely people aren't going through people's phones.
Right.
You go through somebody's phone when you have an inkling or intuition says something's not right,
That's
and
right.
so you know. And most of the time, right? That's how this question probably came, because it says or the husband for cheating. So clearly the husband cheated and the woman went through the phone. So yeah.
Well, maybe she shouldn't have stayed with him, so she shouldn't have to go through the phone again. You know, if you feel like you have to go through a person's phone, if I feel like I gotta go through the phone, I don't want to be with you. If I gotta be on my toes, I don't want to be with you. So
yeah. Again, trust.
But this could be the first time. This could be the first time this happened, though. She could she could have had the intuition and went through and was like, I know something ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you don't just walk away from a relationship with something that you
right.
Like, you
you know how it is when you've been with somebody, especially, you know, I was with my ex for 10 years. And it wasn't until my spidey sense, like you said, when things is good, do you? I'm not looking at just, I don't care. But that one time where the math doesn't add up, I'm going through everything with a fine tooth comb. I'm going
a white glove and a magnifying glass. Huh?
Forget you checking your email. I'm on the email server. I want to see it before you got it.
Okay.
You know what I'm
saying?
James Bond.
Right.
For real, I turn into a straight hacker if I feel like something ain't right. Forget your phone. Keep your phone, girl. You keep your phone. I'm gonna be over here.
Right. I feel you. All right. Well, I think we hashed that one out. Next. All right, Dawn, it's on you. Stop yawning, girl.
I know. I don't understand.
It's only 7:44.
I know, but it's only a 7 and a 5-year-old that be up in the mornings, girl. Is that a scenario? Let me have
a parent scenario.
Oh my God.
All right, what you want?
Age. I'm too old for all of this. Phones, checking passwords, Zoom classes. I'm too old for all of it.
No, you're not.
Girl. I'll have a question.
You'll have a question? All right. That was just a question, right? All right, so we're going to do another question.
Oh, then we could do a scenario.
No, I mean, It doesn't matter.
Excuse me.
I'm keeping track. You know, I have to keep track or I'll be all over the place. All right. So you want to read it or you want me to read it?
Okay, let me see. I'll read it. How impactful are things on TV or in society when it comes to relationships? Or are they impactful at all? How impactful are they? They are impactful for, in my opinion, a certain group, a certain age group.
That's fair.
And, you know, when they see it, they want to do it and be like it. Like, oh, okay, I can be that person this week. And that's it. It depends. Like I said, I got information on how I thought a relationship would be from my parents. I did love the Huxtables when I watched the Cosby Show. Like, oh, okay, and I saw certain couples, and it was ideal. But now it's all this drama, this housewives, and none of them are wives, and the jump offs of the baseball players, and the love and hip hop gangster bitch, all this. So I think it's really impactful because when you go to certain places, they all look like that and act like that.
Okay, I didn't catch all of that. I don't know if it was you or me, but okay, yeah, no, and I that's a good point that you made. It depends on who it is. I think that just being the mother of a 21-year-old, and maybe Imani can relate to this, I don't know, but I know, like you said, I grew up watching things like the Huxtables. And were my parents like the Huxtables? No, but there was peace in my home. I saw a lot of communication going back and forth. I saw that my father loved my mother tremendously. And so that was something to aspire to. And I could relate to the Huxtables. But I remember when, like, Roseanne, if any of you guys have seen Roseanne, that family, I remember so many times I would hear people saying that's real, that's more real. And I was like, real for who? My household isn't like that. You know what I mean? So I think it can. I think if you are looking for something different, maybe it can. I was looking for something to relate to, not for something to give me a new way of looking at things. Right. But again, I think I agree with you. And I think society now is just so much different. TV is different. Movies are different. Music is different. And I know I'm getting off topic, so I'm gonna sit back and let somebody else go.
It's all in there. Society, that's all.
Yeah,
TV,
it is.
Music, all of it.
Yeah, because a lot of things that are said in music, I feel like, we probably had the same content when we were growing up, but it was more poetic. It was more insinuated.
I don't think we did have the same content. I think the invention of the TV show where you don't really have to do anything but be a reality star.
That
has changed everything, because at least our TV back in the 80s and 90s, the TV was scripted. It was scripted so that there was genuinely a happy ending most of the time on a sitcom. You came up with a situational issue, they solved the problem, and the family still loved each other. Even on Roseanne, no matter what it was. True. Yeah, even on Roseanne, everybody walked away and they still loved each other. These women, until to be continued, I'm gonna still yell at you next week, and the week after that, it's still F you, and the week after that, you still it's on site. You know what I mean? Just that whole
toxic. And that hot mic. That hot mic gets so many relationships in trouble, friendships busted because they said something. It's like,
And it's not just the housewife shows. It's the I had a baby at 16, the teen mothers show, or there's so many different variations on looking at someone's life. The Honey Boo Boo series where you see this little chubby fat kid growing up in the spotlight. The Kardashians, right?
Like
that's just, all of that is ridiculous, but you got this whole generation that want to grow up to be like these reality women with the breast implants and the butt injections. And I mean, what's the girl, Kylie Kardashian, whatever, what's her name?
Kylie Jenner.
Kylie Jenner.
That girl created her whole face. That is not her. I mean, she was hurting. She was challenged before she turned 18 and got her jaw broken and chiseled and her lips filled with collagen. I mean, this girl,
a lot.
Have you ever seen the pictures of them side by side from their original looks? It's like, yo, they went into they grabbed some power tools and was like, zzz, 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 next thing you know,
ouch.
And you got
But,
little
you know,
kids trying to do that. They saving up now. At 15, they saving up to get that first butt job or that first breast implant. That's ridiculous to me.
I think that goes a lot to play with. We have to make sure that, you know, we love each other, you know, that we love ourselves as Black women. Little girls need to know, they need to hear from an early age, like, you're beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, you love yourself. And I think that's where a lot of this comes from. It's a lot of self-hate to be like people.
But also, though, like, I mean, because Aisha, you said something too, like, about the music. We had the same content. Now, I listened to some music back in my day, and it really did influence me. Because, like, the other day, I was listening, and I'm like, damn, no wonder I think I'm so gangster. Do you hear this song? Like, I be up in there like, ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. I'm like, oh my God.
I think we had a better concept of context, though. You weren't listening to that at the dinner table.
Y'all be like, who you talking to? Like, LL Cool J talks so much shit. No rapper can rap quite like I can. Yo, I talk so much. When I tell you I pop so much, I talk so much mess. I be thinking I'm hard. They like, Dawn, you're not a man. You don't have balls. I'm like, I got balls. They called ovaries. Okay? Balls too, son.
But yeah, you could talk a lot of mess back in the day and then dance it out.
And then battle.
Rap battle or dance battle. We wasn't shooting up the block. I mean, there were drive-bys, but it wasn't like girl.
They were shooting up the block, but that wasn't our Black in America. Now
I was when Ice Cube said, "I don't bang, I write the good rhyme." I could relate to that. I am not a gangbanger.
Right. I wasn't a gangbanger.
I'm a spectator. If y'all want to do that nonsense, that's on y'all. But I was never involved in that.
Honey,
the music was bumping out.
Right. I was listening to Dre and Snoop yesterday.
Right.
That's how I realized, like, damn, I am a gangster low down. Like, I'm on the low pseudo. But and we didn't twerk, but I for damn sure I was in butterfly contests.
I won't say that we didn't twerk though.
I was the butterfly.
Something else.
It was butterfly.
We did the butt.
Oh yeah.
No. When Luke came out, we did get low. Like,
wasn't twerking. It was very similar. It was like face down, butt up. That's the way we like to.
Flashback. You better stop, Don.
Yeah. But I entered a butterfly contest my first year at college, and I nearly won, but my butt wasn't big enough because I was all of 100 pounds. But not too much.
Don't forget the Tootsie Roll. The Tootsie Roll. Yeah, that was my jam there. The Tootsie Roll.
I was a little older for that one. But yes, to answer that, it does impact and it does have an impact. And cut.
Okay. So it's my turn. Yeah. To choose something. We almost out of time. All right, let's see. We've done, I think I'm gonna do a meme. Y'all ready for a meme?
Yeah.
Take it out with the. Hopefully, it's a light one. Let's see. Share screen and meme. Let's see what we got. Ladies, if your man doesn't come home, report his car stolen. So the police will help you find him. Okay.
You trying to get him killed.
Right, in this day and age, right? Yeah, that might not be your best bet. But hey, if he's missing, you might not care if he gets armed. I don't know.
Might need a new man.
He shouldn't be missing. Okay, well that's all I got. Anybody else?
What you say Don B was Poe?
Oh, let me see.
What does that
Don
mean?
B was Poe. I don't know what that means. it probably has something to do with the butterfly and the Tootsie Roll. I don't know. That's what we were talking about.
Cat. No cat. That's what they say nowadays.
That's what the young folks say, no cat.
No cat. Like, okay, and what does that mean? Y'all know y'all got to help me.
It means I'm not lying.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No cap.
Imani up there laughing at us because we old as hell talking about these
This is y'all just so funny.
What makes us funny, Imani?
It's just funny.
I mean, because when I used to say cap, like don't let me cap on your ass, like I was gonna
cap
right.
is totally different.
No capping. No capping me like I'm for real. You know what I mean? I mean like I'm for real,
Right.
like no capping. I'm for real. Like this is serious. No capping.
Nah,
But
I'm gonna ride with that. If I cap on you, your feelings about to be hurt, and everybody's gonna be laughing. If I cap on you.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm from that era. I too am from that era, and I'm a sniper. Yes.
Yes. Oh,
All right.
I'm about to cap on your ass too.
Dangerous. All right, ladies. Well, I don't have anything to add. Does anybody want to take one more? We have literally less than 5 minutes left in the show. No, you just want to talk it out?
Just pop up a question. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's I mean, we could talk about. we really don't have enough time really to talk about the narcissism. But has anybody else watched Married at First Sight? Have you seen that show?
I've seen it. Yes, it's not something I would ever do.
Yeah,
Is this the one where they don't meet the people? They sit behind a glass and talk?
No, that's Love is Blind. Married at First Sight is they literally meet each other at the altar. Like they go and pick out wedding gowns and rings and tuxes and all this stuff, and they meet at the altar. They have agreed to legally get married, and they have 6 weeks. They like go on a honeymoon. After the honeymoon, they move in together, and then 6 or 7 weeks, something like that. And then I guess they decide if they want to get a divorce or stay married. Now, there have been some success stories. Like I said, I watched season 9, and the couple that I was rooting for, I think they're having a baby, or they had a baby or something. Oh. I don't know, but
hell no.
Dude that's on there right now, Chris, oh my God. He just angers me, and I feel so sad for Paige. Like I just want her to run so badly.
That's why they on a show like that. It's something wrong with her ass too. Like you could do that.
She's contractually obligated for at least a certain amount of time.
Yeah, but if you choose to do that, like, Michigan Avenue, and you could do that. Like, what's up, bro? Okay, let's get married.
Yeah, but they run them that check though. That's the part that we're not talking about. They run them that 30,000 or so. You know, for
30,000 for a marriage certificate. Hell no. At least if somebody get a green card, you pick. I listen.
Crazy. But so because I was wondering why. Because so anyway, since you haven't watched it, he married this girl, and I think on the honeymoon, his ex fiance said that she's 6 weeks pregnant.
Oh, we get that so we can get some money to pay for the baby.
Everybody gotta die.
I mean, because that's just crazy, right? I mean, I'm like, how did he come on the show and with an ex-fiance? Because he comes on saying he was engaged recently. Like he's only been
they just trying to get
that. They're trying to get a check.
Yeah.
They're trying to be like the other reality shows, getting the ratings up.
Now, where do I sign up for this? I'm ready for the journey.
Wait, ready to sign up to get married at first sight?
No, you can't, Don. Your ink isn't on the paper yet.
Oh,
is it?
By the time that season drop, and that's gonna be my drama. Like, I'm still married.
Hey, you know what? They might, but they already. I think they already cast it for Chicago. I think season 13 is Chicago.
Do you have to consummate the marriage? I don't think you have to, but
I mean that's the point of the honeymoon, right?
That's the.
Well, some do, some don't.
What if you find out if they bad in bed? Ugh.
Wait, what?
So what if you find out they bad in bed? You meeting them, and then y'all get married, and then.
I probably wouldn't consummate the marriage because then you don't have to get divorced. You could just get it annulled and then it doesn't count.
Ah, that's smart.
Yeah.
I think some of them are so like attracted to each other that they just go for it. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Sylvia. And guess what? With that, we have 59 seconds left, so it's time for me to close. You know how I do. We can
Looks
talk
don't
it
mean
out.
nothing.
We could talk.
Thanks, Sylvia.
We could talk it out in the after set. But right now I have to close. Thank you, ladies, for coming on. Hold on 1 second, okay? Don't go anywhere. All right?
Okay.
Y'all not talking to me? Oh, okay.
Word.
All right. I am
Okay.
so excited you decided, so glad you decided to join us this evening for Candid Conversations. I hope you put your thoughts and comments in the chat where we can see, appreciate, and respond to them. I know you got some laughs tonight, but I pray you also receive some much needed information and inspiration. And oh yes, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you can know when the show is coming on each and every time. Until next time, this is Aisha Israel reminding you to know and embrace true love because you are worth it. I love you all. Have a blessed week and a good evening. Good night.